What's up, guys? The insane again figure. I felt like doing a video. But this is more of a video. I've been doing a lot of review shit, so I figured I'd put a random discussion on here. And I don't think I've ever addressed this, and I don't really feel like addressing it on my main channel. And that's my opinion on the pairing wars. If you don't know what the pairing wars are, all it is just pretty much people who prefer for Naruto and Sakura to get together, and who think that's going to happen by the end of the manga, or Naruto and Hinata to get together and consort and shit. Most people currently are leaning towards Naruto and Sakura, which is the canon, which is the really canon and obvious choice. And it's the one that most likely happens just because it's fucking canon, which is really, I hate that shit. I hate the fact that canon is the only one that ever wins. This isn't just Naruto. This is just another anime. It's like in One Piece, Luffy and Nami are canon, even though you have Boa Hankaku obviously has a crush. And Kenichi, Miyu and Kenichi are canon, even though Rinka's there and has a crush. I don't know. I think I've just noticed a trend. For some reason, every anime that has a canon, they always have these episodes. That's weird. I just noticed that. I'm stupid. They do that in a lot of shonens. They have a canon couple, and then they have a character that fucks with the canon. And I think they do that because not everyone, for people like me, people who don't really care for the canon couples. Like, I don't give a fuck for Nami x Luffy. I don't give a fuck for Naruto x Sakura. Yeah, I am a NaruHina fan just because I prefer Hinata. Hinata to me is an underrated character compared to Sakura. Even though Sakura has more issues, it's retarded. It's like Hinata's main issue is just the confidence drop, which, yeah, it's just the confidence. That's the only issue Hinata has. Sakura has this whole being in love with Sasuke thing, disrespecting Naruto for years. I still think it's funny that Sai called her out on that bullshit. Just overall, Sakura just had a lot of issues. Even though she's probably one of those characters that's only developed in a random ass way. Another thing, but as far I don't go for canon couples. Canon couples are really, it's too fucking obvious. Like, I think a lot of people just put canon. Like, in certain animes, it's overly obvious, and in other animes, it's kind of underwhelming. Like, in One Piece, it's not, like, set in stone that he's going to end up with Nami. When Robin came into the picture, it wasn't set in stone, but it isn't like Nami was. Nami at them right now is probably the highest of those people. And in Naruto, to me, it's even. I think there are much as NaruHina fans as there are NaruSaku. The reason why people say it'd be Naruto and Sakura is because of this connection they've had since Naruto Shippuden, and considering all the shit that's happened in Shippuden, it's leaning towards more of it being Naruto ending up with Sakura. This is what and for some reason it seems to reflect on how the anime is going to end, how the story is going to end. Because to me, if Naruto ends up with Sakura, Sasuke is going to die. That's how it's going to work. Sasuke is going to die. I'm not even joking here. If Naruto ends up with Sakura, Sasuke dies. If Hinata ends up with Naruto, Sakura's with Sasuke. It's a shonen. So and the funny thing is, my theory leans towards Sasuke dying, in which NaruSaku is probably when it's gonna happen. That's my thing, because she's obviously still in love with him. It's blatant. It's obvious. And people keep saying NaruSaku. I'm like, you do realize she's in love with Sasuke. So how does that make sense? That she's in love with Sasuke, but you believe the pairing is going to be her and Naruto. Wouldn't that, to me, that's just, it's stupid. You created, in other animes, they do not create characters. In most animes that have this couple shit going on, the pairings and shit, they usually don't create a second, they don't have a second guy character to swoon the main female way. Oh yeah, they do. But they don't. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I take that back. This is, if you think about it, it's a really annoying cliche. Naruto, I just realized that Naruto does like the dumbest cliches. That's a cliche in a lot of freaking mainstream, well-known manga. They do that shit. They do that shit in Kenichi. I don't really do it in One Piece because One Piece doesn't really have couples. They have wanted couples. Naruto does the kind of, you see that shit in cartoons all the time. You got two guy characters and one guy character's like the girl, but the girl likes like the other dude, and the other dude doesn't give a fuck. Like that's way too cliche. What the fuck? Anyways, I support NaruHina. That's what I'm kind of rambling around. Alright. I support NaruHina. The reason why I support NaruHina is because that makes, to me, that would run together. That runs together. To me, it's not like other crack pairings this blue guy likes to refer to it as, or ultra black guy, I think is his new name. It's not like in the sense where you have a character, like usually in other animes, if you have a second female interest, she starts off hating that character, and then growing to love that character for no reason. With Boa Hancock and Renka. Renka did not like Kenichi when they first met. Hinata's had a crush on Naruto since they were kids. Like, even when they were younger, before the original Naruto started. That's new. That's what makes it fairly interesting. Plus that, none of these other characters have actually admitted to the main characters that they love them. That's something new. Hinata's actually crossed the barrier. That's why I think Hinata has broken barriers for the stereotypical type of character she is. Because the stereotypical character she is wouldn't have said "I loved you." Just would have did dumb shit. I believe she still would have did the shit with pain, but she was under no obligation to say "I love you." The "I love you" was a bonus. To me, Kishimoto took it an extra point further, which Hinata's not staying in the stereotypical point where she should have been. She should have been one of those characters that hates and then goes off to like, which is kind of what Tamari is in this show. Even though Tamari's character, it would make sense for her character to do that shit too. But Hinata just comes off just straight admiring her. That's it. Hinata just comes off straight off admiring Naruto. A lot of people are like, well, it's not going to happen because they haven't addressed it in 60 chapters. I don't know why people... See, it's funny because Blue Guy used to be a NaruHina fan, and then he switched over to NaruSaku because he said he found evidence that supports NaruSaku. I'm not really taking people that seriously when they fucking say that this is the ultimate pairing. I'm not sticking with NaruHina because of what's in the manga. I'm sticking with NaruHina because that's the pairing that I want to see happen. And personally, the manga's not done. The manga's not done. And a lot of people keep saying that the reason why NaruHina's not going to happen is because it's been over 60 chapters since they last addressed the thing. And they did have, and then people bring up good points because in the manga they've had chances to bring it back up. But really, do you really think it would have made sense for them to bring it up in most random points? Like, okay, the last time Hinata was around was when Naruto got back. He was already being crowded, so I mean I wouldn't have brought it up there. You could have, but it would have just been kind of dumb, I guess. Naruto's going through this entire emotional thing, and you got him, and then on top of that, he needs to deal with Hinata. I mean, that one would make sense. And then you have him at the summit where Sakura's confessing her love, and those Hinata said it herself. She was being selfish. I don't think it's funny because there's not really a rivalry like there is for other girls. Like with like other characters that are in Hinata's stereotype, she should be rivaling with Sakura, which she never is. And that's because Sakura never really acted like, even in Shippuden, she doesn't act like she's trying to get closer to Naruto. Like she'll at least do it. Like she's not jealous or any of that shit. half the time. Actually, no, none of the time. Actually, she just kind of makes fun of Naruto. If Kishimoto does this like a typical shonen, because he's okay with mind fucks, but he could be better. And how much time do I have left? Because I've been rambling for like, okay, it's like 10 minutes. I can ramble for like maybe 3 more minutes. Alright, let me just try to break this down. I support NaruHina because Hinata seems like a better match. Naruto and Sakura just seems kind of stupid. It seems like it's too obvious. That's what pisses me off. It's way too obvious. It's way too much of a happy ending. I think it's mainly because they built that character. Since they relate Naruto and Sakura and fucking Sasuke to Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade. Did Jiraiya make it with Tsunade? Hell the fuck no. That's my thing. There are too many references. If Tsunade's successor is gonna be Sakura, which we are, it's kind of obvious it's gonna be Sakura, and fucking Naruto is like Jiraiya, I don't really see them getting together. And Kishimoto may not be the best with mind fucks. Kishimoto's not gonna. I don't think Kishimoto will make it blatantly to keep implying all this Sakura shit. Does anyone notice that there have been a lot of underlining Hinata things? Like a lot of people say, like that chapter when they were explaining Naruto's mom and shit. How the last thing she said to her son when she was still alive is like, don't marry anyone weird like your mom. Sakura is not weird. Sakura is Naruto. Sakura has a personality similar to Naruto. You saw that all the damn time. To me, at the most, I can see them being really good friends. But Naruto's a man of honor. He would not. He knows Sakura's in love with Sasuke. Why would her emotions switch to Naruto just because Sasuke died? Sasuke tried to kill her twice. Sasuke would have killed her, and she still would be in love with the man. I don't think death is gonna change anything. I don't think Naruto dying is gonna change anything. Love is not something that changes so quickly. That'd be retarded. She wants both of them. What does that tell you? It's obvious that she is in love with Sasuke. Do people, really, this is really what kills me. Do people think that, okay, I understand I'm taking this a little bit too seriously, but just honestly, do people think that love is swayed that easily? She's been sticking with Sasuke through the dumbest shit. Him betraying the village, trying to kill Naruto, the one she's supposedly gonna end up with. All this shit. And she still is in love with the dude. Even now she's in love with the dude. She understands he's being stupid, but she's not. But she's being like Naruto. She's being unrealistic. That's why she's in love with him. Do people think just because he dies that she's just gonna go with someone else? That's retarded. She's still gonna be in love with him. That's retarded. I don't believe that. I don't even believe that. I just don't. It doesn't make sense. That literally would make no sense. This is kind of like the people who remarry after divorce. It's just like it happens, but it just seems like it wouldn't make sense. In a manga, it doesn't make sense. I guess I should put it that way. Hinata to me, it just seems like more of an obvious choice. And since the manga is still ongoing, shit can change. And I know people and it's funny because I'm gonna see someone switch their opinion again. Because they don't know because they're only basing what they're basing off of shit they're saying. They're not actually looking at the full picture. They're just like, well, in this chapter it says this, in this chapter it says this, in this chapter it says this, so it's gonna be NaruSaku. Or this chapter says this, and this chapter says this, and this chapter says this, so it's gonna be NaruHina. Stop basing everything off whatever is in the chapter currently. You gotta look at the full picture. People are like switching their opinions left and right. It's so stupid. But how long have I done? Because it's got to be about almost. Oh God, I went over 15 minutes. Fuck. This may not even upload. Sorry.